Good morning, guys. I hope everyone out there is having a great day or evening wherever you are. Today, I want to talk about a quick cultural etiquette lesson that has been on my mind the past day or two. And as you can guess by the title of the video, the rule is pretty simple. And that is that if you invite someone out to lunch or dinner or even to do something, then in Filipino culture, you're going to be the one who is expected to pay for it. And that's a simple rule of hospitality. Now, of course, this applies to some type of romantic thing. If you meet a girl and ask her out, of course, you're going to be the one to pay for it. But it's not just romantic situations. So, for example, if my wife and I were going to uh, meet somebody and ask another couple out. Let's say we're in the Philippines and we want to see a couple that we haven't seen in a long time, and we ask them to dinner or something like that. Then, because we are the ones who have invited them, the understanding is the unwritten rule is that we will be expected to pay for that dinner, and it's no big deal. It wouldn't be a problem for us, but I'm just letting you know in case you visit the Philippines and invite someone or invite a bunch of people, and they may be expecting you to pay, and you not even, pardon, and you don't even realize it. Now, in terms of this rule, I would say it is not necessarily interpreted legalistically in the sense that if if you have, for example, a bunch of workmates that are just now getting off their shift and they just kind of quickly decide they all want to go eat somewhere. Oh yeah, let's go over to McDonald's or whatever. It's not interpreted so legalistically that whoever is suggesting it has to pay. It's not, but again, it's more of a thing of if you are really inviting someone to come eat with you, then again, you're going to be the one who's expected to pay for it. Now, in fact, the Filipinos have a word or an expression they use. It's called kanya-kanyang bayad, kanya-kanyang bayad, or a lot of times they abbreviate that into KKB. And if they say KKB, what they're saying is that everyone is expected to pay for himself. So let's say you have Filipinos who are doing some kind of Facebook chat, and they all agree to go somewhere to eat, but the one who started the chat is letting everyone know, I can't pay for everyone this time. Then they'll say this is a KKB dinner or KKB event or whatever, meaning whoever shows up for this, you are expected to pay for yourself. So that's a very simple rule of Filipino culture, Filipino etiquette, whatever you want to call it. And I bring this up because I have known of at least a couple of stories here on YouTube where an expat gets frustrated because he ends up paying for everyone. But the twist to this is a lot of times what happens, or what happens sometimes, I won't say a lot of times, this has happened to a few expats, is that Filipinos will invite the expat somewhere and then maybe even go somewhere really expensive and invite other people, then expect the expat to pay for everything. And if you're wondering about that, that is not really part of Filipino culture. In fact, I would say that breaks Filipino culture. That would be considered shameful or nakakahiya. Because, in other words, if you invite me, let's say if I invite you, then I'm expected to pay for it. But even if you invite me to something, I am expected to have some respect for the fact that you have only invited me and that you're going to be paying for me, and I should be grateful for that instead of abusing it. Now, if you invite a young lady out for a date, if she doesn't know you, there is a chance that she may want to bring a niece or her sister or something like that, kind of, I guess, a chaperone, especially for the very first time. And if that's the case, a lot of times what she will do is ask you first, is it okay if I bring my niece or my sister or something like that? And I would say that is generally what would be considered the polite thing to do. If you're invited and then you want to bring someone else along, generally speaking, what you would do is you would mention it or ask permission of the person who invited, because he's going to be the one who pays for it. So when you hear expats have experiences of so-called friends who invite them somewhere and then go somewhere really expensive and bring a bunch of people, then expect the expat to pay for it, that's not what I would consider a part of Filipino culture. That's actually people being rude. So if you have friends that are just expecting you to pay for everything all the time, you probably need to get some get some new friends. But anyway, hopefully that will just help clarify a few things about the culture in the Philippines and give you an idea of how things are generally expected to work in terms of inviting people to dinner and that kind of thing. Hope this helps.